Nathalie, this is going to be like a little interview between the two of us. Nathalie, you're the founder of the non-profit startup We Belong. You have lived in China, right, for several years, and now you organize a yearly event dedicated to connection between China and international leaders and game changers, which is called
We Belong.
We Belong. So you're dealing actually with sustainable brands and responsible consumption, right? We were talking about health. So can you tell us a little bit more about We Belong, what you do exactly, to
I'm
whom
going
it...
to present you the kind of event we're organizing. So We Belong is another forum, and we take place in China. So we organize events in Beijing, Shanghai, and this year will be in Hong Kong as well. And we invite pioneers, change makers, and big corporations from China and also from abroad to showcase their innovations, sustainable products, and short-term strategy to build a better future. So I'm going to share with you some kind of innovation we welcome in our event. For example, we have Dan Rusgaard, who's very famous in China because he built the smoke-free tower. I don't know if the Chinese people here in the room have heard of it. And now they are developing in partnership with OFO the smoke-free bicycle. So you can see the device, and it attracts the polluted air, clean it, and then send clean air in the face of the riders. Another amazing innovation comes from Italy, and they're doing some vegetal laser made from wine waste. So people in the room are so interested to discover the bags and the shoes with this kind of vegetal laser. No need to kill animals anymore. And another pioneer who came from India, who is doing some edible cutlery. So you can see them here. And this is a great solution to fight against the harmful effect of plastic. So we have a sample. I brought a sample for you. Oh. And this spoon can be eaten and compost.
Can I try it?
Yes, sure. You can
go on, yeah.
Yeah. And then another amazing innovation comes from Shanghai, and this is from 3D printing. So they built 10 houses in 24 hours. What is interesting is this is environmental. Yeah, do you like it? There is 3 flavors.
I still got my teeth, that's all right.
Okay. Then, yes, there is environmental impact because they are using only wastes to build the houses, and also the social impact because it's 6 times less expensive than the traditional building way. And this, I love it very much also. It comes from Taiwan, and they make paper made from stone. No need to cut trees anymore. So I also brought a booklet that you can see after all. It's 100% recyclable, waterproof, and it took them 10 years of research and development to find this solution. And this is also another amazing story. This broad group comes from Yunnan province, and they built a building of 30 floors in 2 weeks. Everything is sustainable. You know, it's like the prefabric, kind of like the Legos that the kids like to play. All the materials are sustainable. There is almost no waste, no dust, and for the workers who are doing this kind of buildings, it's much safer than the way that you are doing it the right way. So
in fact, you are inviting all these people to the conference?
Yes. Yes, we bring all this innovation to inspire the people and to showcase that, you know, a lot of companies now are developing amazing innovation to find a solution. So sharing is acting, so that's why our today's event are always Livestream Life. And last year, our event in Beijing reached more than 4 million views. So that was really a nice surprise for us because we used, I heard a lot of KOL here in this room, and we had 20 KOL who were collaborating with us, and they're very sensitive to environmental topics. And at the end of the first day, we had more than 272 KOLs who were retweeted our content. So we are also innovative in the format, what we are doing. So we start the day with a meditation, collective meditation. So we try to reconnect the people to the heart, not only to the brain. So why are we doing that? It's because sharing amazing and very inspiring contents is not enough for change of behaviors. So that's why we would like to help the people to open awareness and to be more aware on how they live in a daily basis. And also, all our events are vegan. So that was a challenge because we did our event in the Hilton on the third wheel road of Beijing, and the chef who is from Guangzhou was very skeptical, and after we discussed with him, he accepted to that our partner Veg Planet trained his team, and they made more than 400 meals, and all the coffee breaks were vegan, and they were so happy with the experience that now they decided to integrate some vegan meals in their menu in the restaurant of the hotel. We did also a mindful dinner, so that was a sensitive experience. So at the beginning, we tried to explain to people to reconnect to the food, so not eating the neighbor, not eating the computer, or not eating the television, but just eating the food. What about the flavor? What about the smell? And during the main meals, it was in silence, and also how to be grateful about all this beautiful food and all this delicious food. And for the dessert, they could share the experience. That was amazing from what I heard. We also have artists being part of the people who share about solution, because we need all the shareholders to be part of this. To try to improve and to bring solutions. So we are a neutral carbon event, so we practice what we preach. And so we measure and we offset all our CO2 emissions. And after we had the calculation, we invest the money in a Chinese NGO.
But you were talking about actually vegan restaurants and mindfulness. We were talking with Urs about health. What are I understand in what you're saying, you're kind of a trend spotter for China and international trends. What would be for you the 5 major trends you could identify in China for now?
Well, I'm going to share about 5 trends. I would not say the 5 trends because, there is a lot of new things happening. But from my work and from how I collaborate with our local partners, this is what I can share. But, from me, these 5 trends are...
And still on sustainability, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So I'm not going to spend too much time on government regulation, but because I think you can read a lot of things in the media right now. But a lot of experts now admit that China is giving a lesson to the rest of the world because it is a country. Of course, the situation, the pollution in China, it's a huge challenge. But now they have decided, they declared the war, about the pollution. So you have some new laws every single month now in the country. And now the big corporations have to publish the figures about air pollution, about the waste in the rivers. So now it's very controlled, and you now to pollute the land or the water is estimated as a crime. And this is the new program who has been launched and now who is in the constitution of China, which is called Towards Ecological Civilization. I'm not going through all the details, but one of the pillars of this program is about the gross national happiness inspired from the Bhutan, how the Chinese government can develop the well-being of the population. So about the second trend I will share with you is the sharing economy. Yes, we heard earlier about this. Of course, now China is the largest country in the world who is developing the sharing economy. And you can see here that $500 billion now is invested in the sharing economy. Like, of course, all of you know about the bike sharing, and one of the most famous is Mobike and Ofo, but you have more than 40 companies who is developing bike sharing in China. And 3 years ago, you didn't have these companies in China. So we can see how fast it goes. And you can also, yes, you heard about Didi, which is a Chinese Uber, who is now the largest company doing this service. But, sharing economy is branching out in China. So you can also rent some umbrellas in the south of the countries and also some basketballs. And you have many products now who is developing and who is proposed for the sharing economy. And it could represent 20% of the country's GDP by 2025.
But is this concerning the whole country? I presume it's not concerning in the people in the countryside or more the major cities, but are all the major cities of China concerned by this trend, for example? I presume you need to be connected to use this.
For example, for the bike
services.
sharing in the city Tier 2 and Tier 3, it's the second or the third most used form of transportation. So you can see now how it's developing very fast. What I'm going to share now, it's about the eco-friendly products and solutions from big corporations. We are a startup, and so we are very new, and we did, last year was our third event organizing in the country, but almost all the big corporations we invite accept to share and to come in the event. And also now we even have some people contacting us to say we would like to share what we are doing. For example, IKEA, who is doing a lot of investment and sustainable products, and they even do a bamboo bike. Usually you don't, IKEA don't sell bikes in their stores, but now they are doing even more in China about sustainable products, and now they share more and more how they using the sustainable wood and how they're using LED, only LED for the lamps sold in their stores. We also had L'Oreal, who is doing some very interesting things in China. I mean, they have, of course, an international strategy. I know that some L'Oreal people are in the room here, but they really convinced us about what they were doing in China and what was their strategy locally. We welcome Airbus. So it was really interesting to hear that Airbus, the CEO of Airbus China, shared with me that they cannot sell airplanes to the Chinese government anymore unless they prove the sustainable innovation. So, and they had an interesting meeting. You have, it's really out of the box meeting because you have Airbus and McDonald's in the same room in China. So they signed a contract. So now Airbus is buying all the old oils from McDonald's to manufacture some,
New fuels.
Yes, exactly, biofuels. We also invited the foundation of Alibaba. Why the foundation? Is because they have developed an app with IP. IP is an NGO who has been funded by Ma Jun, this famous Chinese ecologist, and they encourage the people to go and measure the pollution of the water close to where they live, and then the data are sent to the IP NGO, and then they are working on all those figures and to try to bring solutions to clean the pollution of the water. We also invite some key actors in the luxury sector, and we had the pleasure to have Guo Pei, who is the haute couture designer, and she came and shared how now she integrates some sustainable, not only the products, but also how she shares with her clients to wear her gowns several times and not, to consider it in a different manner. Yeah.
The last train, the most important, yeah?
Yeah, for me, this one, I was very surprised about this trend because it's really amazing, all these, the people who shared with us and the networks and some of the partners we're working with, that the vegan market is really growing very fast in China. For example, in some various provinces and some cities nationwide, the number of restaurants who propose vegetarian food has been multiplied by 6 in the past 3 years. So that's something. And also you can have, I don't know if for you in the different cities where you travel in China, but you can find very easily vegetarian restaurant, and they propose some, less meat on Monday. So you buy a vegan meal and then they offer you a free meal. So I haven't seen that in Paris right now.
Not yet. There's some more, but it's quite interesting actually, because I think time is running fast, but
yes, I didn't
usually
say that.
we see vegan, for example, as a very occidental trend.
Yeah.
Do we have a kind of biased vision of what's happening in China right now through media, for example, and we're completely wrong about what's going out?
Well,
right
you
here?
know, for example, for the vegetarian lifestyle, this is a surprise. I'm just going to try to finish very quickly. Because, you know, this media and e-commerce platform has more than 100 million views for 3 years. So that's amazing. And you can see about their users, 75% are female. That's an indication, yes. They also launch magazine, all sold out for the 2 first edition. And they are doing pop-up lunch and pop-up dinners. They train restaurants doing vegans and how they can learn and propose vegan meals to the customers. For the zero waste, I'm going to be very quick. There is the first zero waste shop in Beijing who opened last month, and they are doing workshop for compost and how to you know, use less waste in the daily buys. And also upcycling now is teach in Beijing universities. So that's I'm going to conclude here. That's okay. Now there is the era of you know, what we call the consumer actors, and prospective studies announce that before 25 years, the non-sustainable products will have disappeared. So that's something interesting. And I know that all the big corporations are working with these marketing studies. So our next event will take place in Beijing and Hong Kong. Thank you.
I got one last question. In 10 seconds, what would be your last wow effect you had in China? Just in 10 seconds, the thing you just had a wow effect looking at that.
First of all, it's all when I'm going to meetings and when I do some presentation, all the young generation come to me and also contact me on WeChat. How can they help? Can they be volunteers? Because they really love the content, and the result of the live stream is a good demonstration. We did communication only in 5 days. You know, we're a small team and we don't have a big... I come from... my background is communication. So I spent 25 years in this field. So using just 5 days to promote the event, and we get more than 4 million. This is
amazing. 4
amazing.
million in 5 days.
No, the 2 days event did reach more than 4 million people. But the campaign was only 5 days. So that was a big surprise.
This is wow. Thanks.